Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Beyond the Grave. This is our interview series where we interview people within the bridging community and maybe just in content creation in general. So, our first guest, we have the almighty PyrOMG.
Too much praise. Like right off the bat. Y'all know you got the wrong guy, right?
The almighty puns man.
PyrOMG.
Papa puns. So, before I start asking you questions, why don't you introduce yourself, like what you do?
Okay. The long and short of it, for the Abridger community, I have for a long time worked with Red Beast and Storm Sage 13. We created Abridgerplex, which is a channel that does Durara Abridged, you might know of, and at that point, Noragami Abridged. We moved on to working with Coffin Jockey and Galga King the Great VA, and we made Abridge Alliance, which does Digimon Abridged, which a lot of people know, and that kind of got us involved to the point where we are right now, along with another thing I did, which was Ablo. I founded a abridged community resource, which is a Discord we call Ablo, stands for Abridgers Lounge, and got us to the point where we are now, where I work with the Schmuck Squad, and I am community manager, I am marketing manager, I guess would be the term there, and I am in charge of the stream team, which does all the awesome streams that you see from the Schmucks and stuff like that, as well as voice acting. Yeah,
he's a busy dude. He's a busy boy. My boy. But yeah, you do a lot of really good stuff for the community. You try.
I figured the only way you get things done is if you dive in, you know?
Yeah. Like, he's very active on Twitter, and shares a bunch of people's posts because he likes sharing talent, because he's a good boy.
Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, my first question is, I mean, it's a pretty obvious question. What's it like being part of, like, as big of a group as Smush as it is right now?
It's weird because I don't think I ever get used to it. Like, the fact that, especially more in recent time, because like people are starting to know my role as like community manager and stuff, I've gotten a lot of messages where they're like, hey, I just want to thank you guys because like the content that you do makes me laugh even when there's like dark times and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, the fact that we can do stuff that actually brightens people's day, like for like at the beginning of it, it's just about, hey, we make something fun and we enjoy doing it and we hope that, you know, other people will enjoy it. But to find out it's more than that, it can actually, like, you know, turn their day around is a cool thing. It takes a little bit of getting used to, because you don't expect the things that you do anything more than like, hey, all right, let's have some fun. And then you realize, well, there's a certain responsibility to it in a way too. But yeah.
Yeah, that's always a good thing to feel, like when fans feel like better just by viewing your content, or they feel inspired even, like, yeah, that happens a lot in this community. People get inspired and just feel better because abridging's all about the entertainment.
It's part of the reason I love like what I do with the streams so much, because they kind of act as two sides of a coin. There's the entertainment that's awesome. Like you can share that with them and you can like put something together, work on a script, get everything out there, and then you can kind of see the reaction. But then you can interact with the people on the streams and actually get how they feel, like hear what parts of it they really loved on this stuff, and just like get to know your audience so you
Yeah.
can make content that like really connects with them.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good to actually have that kind of connection we do with our audience.
Yeah, because comments are one thing, but like direct feedback with like in real time comment replies or comments or like in stream chats is very good to have, because it's good to have direct feedback from what you make.
You want to know what your audience really thinks beyond the simpleness of like, that quote was funny. Okay, that's cool. Or in some cases, and I'm sure you've dealt with this on a video, you'll get, this sucks. Well, I mean, you're okay. It's cool to not like something. That's fine. But how does it help us unless we know exactly what you didn't like?
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Like
So when you get to know your audience, you can get a lot more depth out of them.
yeah, people can like dislike everything because people can dislike what they want because like the abridging is very subjective. Uh uh it's not for everyone. Not every parody is for everyone. So people will have their high opinions, but like if they just straight up say this sucks or like and doesn't say anything about it, that doesn't help them get better at all. That's just
I've,
you
al-
being a hater.
I've always kind of like tried to tell people this. If there's constructive feedback that comes from comments, fuck it, don't go for it. Go for it, dive into that and like work that into your stuff. But if it's just like this sucks, or if it's just destructive, then ignore it. Don't like turn your brain off at that moment. Like that there's no point to that.
Yeah.
Because all it's going to do is eat away at you and kind of like destroy your drive.
Yeah. I laugh at
If people want to help you create, whether it be something, changing something, removing something in the past, all for that. Just don't let them stop you from creating.
yeah,
You know?
I laugh at most of my hate comments because a lot of them are very grammatically incorrect. So
This sucks spelled with an X.
But yeah, like what that's another thing. What other than comments and feedback, like actual constructive criticism and also fighting against the haters, what is a good motivation for you to do what you do?
Honestly, for me, I kind of like learning people. Like I like legitimately when it comes to at least the side of the streams, I've noticed we have so many different fans that have different views and interests and things like that. And we find things that we have in common with them. And that helps us build our community better, like to make it feel like a home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the same way the Abridger's Lounge was a under one roof place for Abridgers to communicate, share ideas, and get to know things like that. When you have a fan base, you want to be in touch with that fan base and know what they like and what you have in common and how you can kind of nurture that and make new things together. Because like maybe not everyone's an Abridger,
Right.
but if you have that interest in common, maybe you have other interests, and suddenly your fan base feels like a home that everyone got to participate into.
Right.
And I think that's a cool way to build a fan base. Also, it helps your content too, because if people are open and like with you, then you can actually know what they really want more than just well, okay,
Yeah.
that was neat. Yeah.
I like that kind of those kind of fan bases. Like I think BridgeBrains has definitely gained that kind of fan base where everyone's very positive, and the people that aren't, we pretty much just learn from what they don't like, and also sometimes their stupidity, if they are really just being haters. Uh, we use it to our advantage to show them wrong, sort of thing. Uh, that's always a good motivator. But like another thing, you help write at all, right? Uh, for Schmucks or anyone else. Do you help write?
Um, I am not a. I used to be a writer for Digimon in the early days of it, but like I stepped back because if I'm being honest, Coffin with having Red Storm, Coffin, and myself in it, and I looked at what Coffin had, and he had his vision for that, and I'm like, I'm the cook that's too many in the kitchen, and I'm willing to accept that there. My role became with Digimon more of like, after all the writing is done and whatnot, after the base script is all set, after everything's solid there, when we go on to the visual work that Red does, I jump in with, and we kind of figure out, hey, how can we
Yeah.
enhance things? I do basically quality assurance, where, okay, this is good on paper. I think we can enhance this joke by doing a visual gag here, or doing something like this. Or even sometimes there's a visual addition that we can think of last minute that's like,
Mm.
could we add this to that, or maybe rework this? So I'm
Mm.
pretty much quality assurance
So,
on Digimon at
other
least.
than puns, what is your process for coming up with jokes, like of any kind, like either written in or like visual?
My Everybody has their own style. Like an example, we're remastering Noragami Abridged, and you guys are hopefully going to see that in the near future. We've got the script 100% complete now. There's new content in it and stuff like that. It's just about getting the cast handled. Um, on that one, like everybody has a different style. I feel like my style was always trying to bring relative sarcasm and kind of like having characters play off of one another more than anything else.
Right.
I have a Thanks to Digimon, there was a style that we realized that I really love, and I call it laddering.
Mm.
Laddering is when you have one character says something that starts a joke, and then another person adds to it, and another person, and so on like that. The lines keep adding off of one another to create the peak of humor, and then you go down and you go again. Like it's basically, rather than just having one line that is the joke, you can make things funnier by having each thing become a little bit more funny with it until you're like, okay, and you move forward.
Yeah. We BridgeBrains in the writing process have definitely started doing that tactic, the whole laddering tactic. We build upon each other's jokes, uh, because uh we all share a document when we are writing uh our scripts, on Google Docs or whatever. Uh, and we will have members just comment like suggestions to make it better, and we definitely try to integrate as much as we can uh each suggestion. uh Not every joke works, so we end up having to cut it, because sometimes what we think is really funny may not be funny to the audience. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's another thing is like inside jokes are very hard to write in. Like,
That is, yeah. Because you end up with something that's like, this is extremely funny to us, but how is the audience gonna get it?
right, because if they don't know us personally, they're not really gonna get it at all. And they'll be just confused. But
There's a good tactic you can pull in those cases. Like, you can rework the joke to make it become an inside joke between the characters, but they have to see the origin of it.
Right.
So you can actually make it like, if you take yourself away from it, it's like, now it's not an inside joke between us, it's an inside joke between the characters. As long as they know where it came from, that becomes more of a rule of threes joke.
Right.
Which basically, rule of three jokes are ones that you can do first time, okay, kind of funny there, call back a little bit later in the same episode, and then it's like, oh, that's the thing from before. You got a second out of it. And then you wait until episodes later to give it its third final. So you don't over milk it.
Right.
But you get a kind of like, hey, I remember that. That was funny. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely a good way to go about it. Other than Schmucks, what do you like other than Schmucks and Abridger, what do you like working on personally, like project wise? Not because abridging's not going to last forever. Everyone knows that. Or if it does, people grow out of it. So what are some personal projects that you've always wanted to do?
Well, I mean, obviously I love doing the streams because of the fact that I just like what you said, I know abridging isn't going to last forever. As long as video games exist, as long as there are things to do with the audience and play like that, then streams are going to be there. So that's something that like is kind of solid. Even if anything did happen to abridging, I feel like we could still stand as a streaming channel. But beyond that, there's also original content. There is a story idea that and we even put some work back into it in the olden days, like a year and a half ago. There's an original series that we want to create, and it's called Soulbound. That's like, I want to work on original content somewhere down the line, but like I'm in no rush. I just want to I want to keep doing stuff that is fun and I enjoy doing and other people enjoy seeing happen. I guess at the end of the day, the simplest thing is I just want to make people laugh and smile. I know that's like naive, but
Yeah. With me, I know I'm not gonna be doing abridging for a very long time. Like probably in the next 5 years, I'll probably be done with it because it is what it is. Because you can only do so much with it. I mean, props to Team 4-Star and Lil Karibo for doing it as long as they have. But like different styles, you know? So with me, I want to get into like animation.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I want to do like animation, and I want to do more with voice acting outside of abridging. For voice acting wise, how do you feel about your voice being out there, whether it's in an abridged thing or not? Like no matter what kind of content it is, how do you feel about voice acting?
I freaking love it. I mean, like, no, I know that's like, oh, of course, but like, no, like, I really enjoy the fact that I can add something to like these characters, be them in the abridged stuff. Like, I'm adding voice to someone who's there's already an identified voice for that, but we're able to do it in a different way and a unique new characterization. Or whether it be something with legitimately like, hey, this is brand new, add a voice to it. Or even like doing lines for I did this project for Born of Boredom. There was the thing we did called This One Time, which was just kind of storytelling and whatnot. I love being able to actually entertain an audience and emote and add something to a bigger. I like the idea of being a small part of a bigger puzzle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like just like being part of something that makes people happy, and that's something I love. And when it comes to voice acting, it's freaking it's cool to know that maybe each voice that we do now is practice and finding bigger what's the word I'm looking for? Bigger steps, bigger roles come from what we learn we can do with our voices from what we have there.
Right.
Someone sees it, they're like, holy shit, that's awesome. Hey, could you do that a little bit different for here? Yeah, shit, I've got the range for that. And it's all leading to something more. I don't think as long as you can do it, the work never ends. There's always going to be someone else who's like, oh shit, hey, that's an opportunity. So
Yeah.
I kind of like just the whole big picture.
Yeah. That's definitely how I feel about going about voice acting. Is like, if I can add my part to a character, to a whole story, just being a part of it makes me happy that I get to entertain, you know? Like, have you had any paid roles at all, though?
Yes. Technically my first, besides a bridging voice acting gig, I was paid, I think it was like $80. And I was doing for a freaking fire safety video. I was narrating the whole thing, which was cool. And I was like, whoa, cool. A school wants me to freaking do this thing. Cool.
Wait, it was for a school? That's
yeah.
cool.
And then there's also I don't know if I want to mention this or not. There's a DLC voice pack thing for a visual novel that's called The Demon Reject Toko that I voiced in, and it's kind of it's not porn.
It's an H game. Just say.
It's on the edge of that. I believe the term's ichy or some junk like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't voice none of the dirty stuff, okay? I was a concerned father, thank you very much.
I want to hear the pyro moans. Come on.
Oh god, no. But yeah, those are two of the paid gigs that I've done, and there's like maybe one other thing I can't talk about it because I signed it. So maybe one day. maybe one day.
All I've done for paid stuff is just audio editing so far. Voice acting, I'm still trying to climb out of my hole to audition more. So I gotta get to doing that to actually get roles. So yeah. So that's actually a good question. How do you go about auditioning? Like, what's your audition process for anything?
I mean, it used to be straight up just do the grunt work, go through all the sites, freaking keep your eyes open, see what's out there, see what they're looking for, and then, set aside some time, freaking get an Audacity, do a couple of takes, bada bing, bada boom, put them out there like that. Nowadays, I don't have the time I used to. So unless it's something that kind of comes like across my peripheral vision or someone specifically looking for me, then like if it comes across my vision, I'm like, oh shit, this is pretty cool. I really want to be in this. Then I'll freaking like go out of my way for it. Otherwise, it's like if people hit me up, then I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that I'm like not as actively searching as I used to be, but like with everything going on, it kind of needs to be like worth taking the extra time when I'm already a busy dude.
I used to go be around fucking behind the voice actors of all places.
Oh, I
used
remember
to be everywhere on there, and then Also, I didn't really like Casting Call Club as much. Then it got better, and then I just kind of forgot about it. But I was there too. Uh, but a lot of things that come from behind the voice actors and Casting Call Club, unless they are posted by by an abridger, they end up falling. So like they end up not happening most of the time. Like 90% of those projects don't end up happening.
That's the freaking problem too. Like you put it in so much work on any of these sites. You're like, all right, this seems neat. I'm gonna take a shot, but there's so many factors that work against it. You could put in lines for something and they cancel it. You could freaking get a person who's like coming to you with a script and the script is like, I don't know if this is this good, but I guess I'll do it. And then like turns out later they're like, hey, sorry, I end up recasting anyway. It's like, you fucking came to
Yeah.
me. You came to me and wanted me to do the thing,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm gonna admit this. I am guilty of that some at least once in my director and I guess auditioning phase. I don't know if I'd call it a phase, but in my career, I guess. But yeah, it's very sad when things don't work out. I mean, life happens. I get that. But like communication's also a factor, you know?
Yeah, like I feel like in those situations, I wouldn't be upset with the person as long as I knew. Like, if you're like, hey, things came up, this is what's got to happen and whatnot, rather than like finding out like later, it's like, oh, okay. I guess that happened.
I mean, I I actually I didn't audition even. They like found my demo reel somewhere. That I've pitched in a few lines for this one like Grand Theft Auto fucking movie thing, and I didn't think the whole thing would actually work out. But then I found out like a few months later that it did happen, and then it had already been like 3 or 4 months that I realized that it did happen. So I added it to my playlist of things I voiced in. So like I have things that are like 2 days ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 months ago, then 2 weeks ago. It was just a weird thing that I didn't think would actually happen. Like, oh, I voiced for this? Do you ever have that sort of moment? Like if you voice extras, I know that happens a lot. If people like voice extras, they just end up forgetting it. Like,
I'm so fucking embarrassed about this. I put in audition for an extra in freaking 7 Deadly Smucks, and I got it, and I forgot I did it. It took Rec. Rec was the one who told me, it's like, hey, we're both in Smucks 9. I'm like, the fuck? I don't remember. Oh, shit, I did.
I didn't do this. You have no proof.
Like, of all of the things for me to fucking forget, like, that is the main series of the Smucks channel, which I work for now, and I forgot. It's so bad. Because it was just a smaller thing, and I did that in a batch of stuff when we were like doing other stuff, and I just completely forgot.
Yeah. I mean, when it's on the when it's on the spot, like a very last minute thing, like, oh, I need extras, you can tend to forget about it. Like there's many times that I've auditioned for or just recorded for extras for my friend, and I ended up forgetting about it. And then they sent me the link. I'm like, oh, I voiced in this. Like, uh,
I will say though, one of the best feelings in the world is when you do a small part, even if it's just a small part, but it's such a line that it stands out that people still like are quoting that in the freaking chat. You're like, yes, I was the guy.
I was the guy. That one guy.
Like, I feel like for Chase, I know this is such a weird thing, but I feel like it's Nishima the fish fucker. That's his I was the guy moment.
What's your I was the guy moment?
I honestly feel like it's that guy in freaking Schmuck's 9 because I saw people quoting, "Do you want to know what my superpower is? It's nothing. I have nothing." And I was just like, yes, nailed it.
Nailed it. That's how a lot of people felt about like started commenting in on our Goblin Slayer. Like just the simplest stupidest little lines people started like quoting and shit. Oh yeah. How do you feel about like the different parodies that go up, not on just like Schmucks, but like other Schmucks channels, like whether you're involved in them or not? How do you feel watching them?
Okay, so you're talking about just not on Schmucks, but the sub channels of Schmucks as well, or are you talking about channels outside of? Okay, when it comes to the shows that are on the different sub channels and whatnot, I'm fucking ecstatic that we have this even. Like, first of all, like the problem, as much as it sucks that I see with a lot of different abridged channels, is they're like, okay, I'm going to try this, but I'm also going to try this. I'm going to try this, but I've got this one channel and I'm getting my stuff taken down.
Right.
And the reason I feel like it is because you're risking a bunch of different like over arcs for what's the term I'm looking for? Like Toei.
Yeah.
Or freaking Funimation or so on and so on and so on. And they're going to flag things differently. Like you could end up with like just all of your stuff from one year, like, all right, I don't have to worry about them. This is the way they take things down and whatnot. But you have like 3 different shows from 3 different things or whatever, and your channel's going to go down. So what you need to do is actually, as much as it sucks, have different channels.
Yeah.
And have different content on those channels. So it's like, you know what? Hey, I guess I'm now the freaking BridgeBrains network or whatever.
Right.
So this is part of the BridgeBrains network. These are on this one. I risk less getting so many strikes that the channel will go down. But when it comes to, I know I kind of tangent off that. When it comes to the content that's on the different channels, I love the fucking diversity.
Yeah.
I love that we're able to hit all the freaking notes that way. Like, someone can be a fan of Schmucks, but maybe they're not, shocking as this would be, maybe they're not a fan of 7 Deadly Schmucks. Maybe they're a fan of freaking Digimon. And it's like, yo, we still got you covered. A Bridge Alliance, that's a Schmucks Network one. You'll see all the ads of when something's coming out and when there's a new video and whatnot coming to Schmucks on the main channel. So you'll be up to date and up to speed on these things. You'll always be able to know what's coming next that's in our network of stuff from that main channel. And then those ads, quote unquote, don't risk all the copyright bullshit because we do them in a way that it's like condensed down and kind of obscured slightly.
Right. Also, instead of ads, just say promos because that's literally what.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for, and I'm just like, why can't I think of the right word right now?
Right. Definitely. BridgeBrains has learned. Actually, we've learned from you and you guys in that regard on to how to network ourselves. To promote what's not on the BridgeBrains channel that our members do make. Like Goblin Slayer wasn't even gonna be on the channel originally. That was a whole idea for from Wildcard, and then we just put it on the channel. But outside the channel, we promote series like Gurren Lagann, which is our Gurren Lagann series, and
Nice.
then we make promos for Kimono Friends Abridged or Absolute Duo Abridged, and at the end of every year, we make a showcase kind of video, like a rewind of not only projects that we've made on the BridgeBrains channel, but projects we've made on our members' channels. Like,
That's
yeah,
actually, I would love to see more people actually do that. Like, you don't have to, and here's the thing, it's not the biggest risk in the world, because like at that point you can still have the autonomy of having your own shows the way you want them on your channel. But if more people teamed up in that way, we could do with the networks that we have things that personally I wanted to do with Ablo since the beginning, but the big problem was you need to have an audience behind it. If you're growing things from one channel, eventually you get to a point where you've got enough viewership on that you can kind of diversify outwards. But like with Ablo, if we had made the Ablo channel and we had just been pushing it out to other things, but we didn't have the follower base in the first place, then it's like yelling into the void, you know?
yeah.
Well, hey, you should watch these things. No one sees the video that says you should watch these things. So now building a network on our side there and seeing other people start to kind of build their own networks with it, there's a higher chance of everyone being able to help each other. And I love that.
Yeah. Like, I've tried to make promos for my own channel for projects that I helped out with uh uh but they end up just not getting like a lot of views. So I kind of stopped doing that on my channel, promos for other people, even if it's my own group, because my channel just doesn't have as great of views as BridgeBrains does currently. Like, even though my channel has more subscribers than BridgeBrains, which I would like to change around. I would love for BridgeBrains to grow further beyond than any of the members' channels combined. Like, because
Uh,
you guys hit a great feat for like getting past 100K. Like, that was a major thing.
if you want a small little tip, utilizing, because you said your personal channel has more brains, right? But you're trying to grow that,
Yeah.
right? Do streams on your personal channel of premieres and stuff that are on BridgeBrains, or like a premiere clip or something, and then like along with stuff, and then you'll get more eyes back to that channel
Yeah,
from that.
I've tried doing that. I tried doing that with Little Witch, which didn't work out because of yeah.
Oh, the Low Witch game, I remember.
Little Witch Abridged didn't work out because of copyright stuff. But I mean, we're trying to figure it out, but yeah, we are trying to stream more, both on our personal channels and then also on the BridgeBrains channel and on the BridgeBrains Twitch, which all of us share. So we're trying to do that more and like, we know not everyone is into streams or podcasts, sort of long things like that. They just want to see a video and be done with it, sort of thing. Like, do you ever get that? Like, you feel people aren't as interested in the other stuff. They just want to see the videos themselves and then just go about their day.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, like, there is a vast majority. No, I can't say that. I can't say that for a fact, because I'm then trying to like speak for the people that you don't hear
Right.
straight up. But like, I'd say there is at least a certain amount of people that will pop up in the comments all the time for anything and be like, when's the next episode of this instead? Or when's the next episode just in general and whatnot. Even on a new episode, mind you.
That's what happens to every
then-
Abridgers.
And then you could be on stream and there's still people talking about like, hey, this is nice and all, but when's this? You got to realize at a point you're not going to make everyone happy. However, if you keep a dedicated growth by just going at it, do the streams, do it because you're having fun with it, and you know at the end of the day it's going to pay off if you just keep going at it. You'll hit it eventually. And that's kind of where I've been with this. It was a leap, to say the least, to go from freaking when we were just doing the Saturday streams were pretty much all there were for a minute there with Schmucks. And I think there was one review stream on like a Tuesday or something. And then to try and turn it around and go, hey, you know what? I know these people. Let's see if we can work it out where these different shows. This is the stream schedule. This is what we do with this. Let's see if we can do an almost full week streaming schedule. Can we become a streaming channel? And it's a leap, but sometimes you take the leaps and you either fly or fall. But it's worth it to try.
About your guys' Schmuck Quest? Because like that's actually like very highly praised. Because a lot of Abridgers have gotten into D&D campaigns and stuff, and your guys' always comes up as like being like a really good one in that. I'm not sucking your dick or anything. I'm just saying, like, staying.
No, you got me like super happy because I can actually talk about this too. People, yeah, I even back in the day when it was Buddy VA, I was watching those and I really enjoyed, because everyone, I think it's infectious, the amount of fun they're having on stream and then being able to like hear the adventures as they go. Like you grow an attachment to these personalities, and now you get to kind of like join them on an adventure, and you really want to see how it plays out. Cool thing is, for those people, if anyone's listening and wants to know, Schmuck's Quest is coming back. There's slight changes to this, a new formula. We call this Schmuck's Quest Stormbreak. Stormbreak is going to be hosted by Stormsage 13, the brother of the amazing editor Red Beast 13, and he is also a writer for Digimon, and now he's assisted in writing for other things on the Schmucks docket as well. He is a DM, and he will be doing the DM work for this. Schmucks Quest will now consist of a cast of Coffin Jockey, Grimjack, Izanami VA, and myself. And that'll be interesting because I am D&D illiterate, but like I came up with a character for this, and it'll be a fun ride. I'm excited to actually see what this is all about. I've only with D&D, or really Pathfinder, done one trial thing with Red Beast and Storm where I created a character, and it was a zany mess. So I'm really going to be new at this, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, how involved are you in like D&D? Because I don't play D&D at all. Like, that's some nerd shit that I do not get into. It's like, but like I enjoy like watching others play it sometimes if it's like a good campaign.
I'm the same, and now it's like I think the curiosity is peaked for me to go, let's give it a shot. Who knows what's the worst that can happen. I don't want to reveal anything about my character, but there are some people that are gonna be like, I get the reference that you did there. I saw that thing. But like it's gonna be a silly mess. Also, I'm gonna get to do a voice that's different than my normal. I I like the fact that I get cast, and I can be that guy where it's like, hey, you have a standout voice. All right, cool. You can voice as that. People, I guess I have a good voice. But I also would like it. I would love it if I could get into things where I could venture outside my normal range.
Yeah.
Just like play around a bit in the sandbox rather than always playing the same game over and over again.
Right.
If you played Halo and that was the only video game you had, at a point you get tired of video games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I mean, I play Overwatch every day, so.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. To each their own sometimes.
But yeah, I feel you. Like, that can be said about content in general, though. Like, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get bored of it eventually. So it's also really good to be diverse in what you do, because you can have a lot of different creative drives, you know?
That's my freaking Abridged community buzzword for 2019. Diversity. We need more diversity, guys. Diversify your content. Diversify your freaking cast. Let's freaking do this. Let's have more diversity in the community, man.
We need to have Gal Guy King voicing everything and just scream. That's what we need. That's what we need in this community.
I can't. Like, this is a quick tangent, but like, when you talk about Mark, and I keep thinking of, there was a comment that someone was actually paying attention to all the Digimon episodes of recent, and they're like, TK, he said that suicide pack line, he zones out, he gets treats when mom and dad fight. Is he okay? Should we be worried about his well-being in future episodes? And I had to just, yes.
Yes.
I just responded with yes.
I mean, I kind of get that. Like, if you put yourself so much into voice acting that you legitimately come off as like you have these traits and you have these problems that this character is conveying, that's some top tier acting. Like, I get that with Carolyn, Carolyn Davies. She has been my best casting decision that I've ever made. Yeah, like,
oh yeah, she's talented. She is talented.
Like, she hurt my ears because of how good her voice is. Like, and she makes sure to take care of her voice. That's another thing. Take care of your voice if you are a voice actor. If you want to get into voice acting.
Oh yes.
Like,
I believe I've heard that like tea with honey is a good thing to keep your voice soothed. And just in general, don't freaking go into a voice acting session like I'll freaking take a bottle of water. But don't be that person that's like, fuck it, let's just chug a bunch of root beer or freaking like sodas and stuff like that. You're just going to dehydrate yourself. You need actual water. You need things that are not freaking syrup and
also
caffeine.
Juice, because, you know, nutrients and shit.
Get your juice box on. Yeah.
So, any other, we're coming to a close. Any other tips do you have for any field that you do? Like any voice acting tips, any abridging tips, just tips in general, like for content creation?
One tip that I always preach and I really want to keep putting across the board for people is when it comes to a bridging, like legitimately when it comes to a bridging, do not be turned away from doing X series because someone else has done X series. I can tell you with 100% truth that just because, oh, hey, Dragon Ball Z Abridged happened, there was freaking Remix doing his weekly tube show stuff, and they were funny and created their own version too, and they got popular too. Freaking, there is there was a multiple attempts at Attack on Titan, and there were multiple attempts that were funny of Attack on Titan. While there's Sword Art Online abridged by freaking something witty, there is also Sword Farce Online that was done by Roland Nolan. Both are funny in their own way. Do not get turned away from doing the series you want to do because someone else has done it, because at the end of the day, there is a finite number of series that exist. There is not a finite number of visions that exist.
It's all about iterations, like getting your thoughts out there, sort of thing. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, it's okay. There will be people that will love your series because it is your series and your vision, and it's different from another thing. I'm not going to say you won't get that, because we even get the comments of, because we do Digimon, people saying, Azure Crows is better. And it's like, okay. By the way, actually,
we get comments from your guys' fans all the time for our Goblin Slayer thing, and
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. Like, because we publicly made a statement, like, guys, it's cool if you don't like ours or you think it's like not as good as the others, but give constructive criticism. Like, don't just be a dick and say this sucks. I like this one better. Like,
yeah, that doesn't help anybody. And honestly, I'm so happy with the creators in the community, because like, as far as I've seen, they've been really nice about this, and they're basically like, hey, don't be that person. You know, like, why can't it be that there are multiple ones that are good? It's great that you like something, but also that doesn't inherently mean that this one is bad because you like another. Unless you have actual flaws that you are seeing with it that you can detail for us. It's just being dickish. Let's not do that.
Yeah. So, as we're coming to a close, where can people find you? Where can people find PyrOMG?
Most commonly, they'll find me, on Twitter at PyrOMG, PYROMG. Pretty simple there. That will be your gateway to find me on pretty much anything else. I control the Schmuck's Twitter, which is at the Schmuck Squad. I am constantly on streams for the Schmuck Squad. You'll find me either on the YouTube channel, the Schmuck Squad, or you'll find me on the Twitch, twitch.tv/the Schmuck Squad. That's pretty much my home content stuff. Oh, unless you want to specifically see Digimon Abridged, in which case you want to go to Abridge Alliance on YouTube, which is the sub channel there. And if you're feeling fat and sassy and you also want to see Durara Abridged, that's on Abridgeplex. So yeah, a lot of zany stuff.
That's another thing. Stay tuned for like promos from them about like where a certain project is going to be, because different reasons is why they're uploaded there. Like,
if you're on the Schmuck Squad channel and you keep posted for the promos there, you'll always know what home channel something's on.
Exactly.
And just for the hell of it, one last thing, if you're an abridger and you like, or if you're looking to get into abridging and you're interested about this stuff, follow at Abridgers Lounge on Twitter, and you can find out how to get involved in the Abridge community that we have there. There's a Discord community by Abridgers for Abridgers. You can communicate with people. You can figure out things, figure out how to start writing, how to start casting, how to actually make your own Abridge series, and how to get into this path we all enjoy. And I always want to promote that kind of stuff to get more people interested and involved, because it's a lot of fun, and we'd love to have you.
Yeah, I'll put links to everything in the description. So
I'm so sorry it was so much.
no, that's fine. But I'm fine with like linking stuff like that. I'm probably gonna be the one to edit this video anyway. So
erases everything I said. There, it's better. I agree.
Just everything's just a reaction from me. Like, welcome to the JChip cast.
It's just a robotic voice going, yes. Yes. No. Yes.
If I had an ego cast, that's how it would be. But thank you for listening to anyone that's listening for our first episode of Beyond the Grave. This is our really cool interview cast. Tell us what you think about it. And thank you, Pyro, for being our first guest.
No problem. Thank you for
I've
having
been planning to have you as our first guest for a while now. So
I know, I'm sorry. Timing.
no, it's cool. But yeah, any closing words that you want to say? Other than plugs?
Yeah, no, legitimately, other than plugs. Straight up, out there, if you are looking to get into entertainment or creating, just like the hardest part, I feel like, is just finding the courage to start.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid about failing. Don't be afraid about like it not being the best thing. Your best thing is always going to be your next thing, because you are going to learn from what you do right now. So just start. And I think you can all do amazing things. I believe in you.
Good boy. And as Shia LaBeouf says, just do it.
He stole it from Nike.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Please do share this around. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!
Have a good day!
Well.